Hi everybody, it's British Primrose ASMR, and today's video is going to be answering all of your questions. So we're going to get straight into it because there's quite a lot of questions, and if you've watched my previous videos I kind of like to ramble on a lot, so we'll just get straight stuck in here. So what do you do outside of YouTube, career and hobbies, etc.? I do have a work life outside of YouTube. I'd like to make YouTube my full-time career though. That would be spectacular. But at the moment I am working in business, and it's not really my career per se, and I really like to study for something that I would really like to do, and I would actually like to go into the medical field. So I'm hoping that I can start to study that in a couple of months. So it'd be really good for my YouTube channel when I get to actually study all different types of things and make it a little bit more professional for you guys. I've got a few different hobbies. I like being out in nature, so I like to go hiking and camping. I like looking for gold and sapphires. I've been doing that quite a lot this year and it's been amazing. I also like to dabble in a lot of writing. I read quite a lot too, and I really enjoy music, so I like to sing and play piano and guitar. I haven't done it in quite a while, but I actually like to start recording and doing some things, so you might see a second channel at some stage. It might be more to do with lifestyle and music, and also gaming too. That's another one of my hobbies. I like playing games. I've said it in my other video, I'm pretty sure, but my all-time favourite game is The Witcher 3. I absolutely love it, and I love the books, and the series that came out with Henry Cavill is great as well. So if you really want to play a game that's amazing, I definitely go for The Witcher. I'm more PC gaming than any other. I just find it a lot more easier, and the graphics are so much better. But we can agree to disagree. I'm sure there's some people out there that prefer the PlayStation or Xbox features. And yeah, that's pretty much my hobbies. I kind of like to draw every once in a while too. I'm not an amazing drawer, but I kind of like to dabble in that quite a bit. And yeah, I think hobbies that I would like to try is, I used to do a little bit of horse riding, so I think I'd like to get back into horse riding, and I'd also like to try out archery. I think it'd be quite exciting. So hopefully that answered your questions. What is your biggest insecurity? No worries if you don't want to answer this. I'm sure everybody has a lot of insecurities. I definitely do, and I'm okay answering it. One of them that I actually got fixed was I was very insecure for a very long time with my nose. It was very crooked. It was very sort of bent over, so it was very Roman looking type of nose. And it was just something that I wasn't very confident with. And I started looking to have surgery when I was about 18, I think it was 17, 18, but I decided that I wanted to get sort of my life sorted first before investing in that sort of thing, so I ended up buying a car instead. But I sort of let it on and off because I'd never had surgery before and I was terrified if something went wrong, and also the cost. But last year I committed to getting it done, and it was the best thing I've ever done. I could do a separate video for that if you'd like me to. I can talk all about what happened, because I had a really good experience. So I'm happy to share those details if you're interested. Maybe comment down below if you would like a separate video on that. But overall, I'm much more confident with my nose now. I don't feel like people are staring, and I can sort of, as sad as it is, I can get on with life and actually do things that I do want to do. That sort of pushed me back, I think. Probably the other one is probably my weight. That sort of increased in the past 2.5 years since I started my new job. Before I was up all the time running, I was doing a lot of physical thing, but now I'm not, and I've put on a lot of weight, and that makes me feel very uncomfortable, so I'm trying to lose it. I've got like 20 kilos to lose, and it probably doesn't look like it from here that I have to lose that much, but I do, especially for my health. So yes, that's probably my biggest insecurity right now, is that it's probably my weight. Do you believe in astrology and horoscopes? It's kind of a tricky one. Yes and no. I mean, I'm intrigued by it, but it's very, very generic. I mean, I've looked at horoscopes, and there's things on there that you go, oh, well, that's definitely me. This is exactly what it sounds like. And I guess maybe it has some truth to it. I don't really know how to answer that question because I haven't gone really deep into it, especially with the astrology part. Let me do some research on it, and I'll get back to you. But I guess the answer that I can give to you right now is probably not. I do think I'm quite spiritual. I mean, I've seen things when I was very young that have made me question a lot of things, but in terms of astrology and horoscopes, I think maybe I'm more on the no side, but I am intrigued by it. What is your favourite accent to roleplay as to, and when can we see Lady again? You'll definitely see Lady again very soon, maybe in the next couple of weeks. I'm really glad that you guys enjoy Lady. She's very much like me in person, I think. A little bit shy, a little bit weird, and very weird if you know me in person, but it's a good kind of weird, I think. My favourite accent to roleplay, so I mean, I have my normal accent, which is English right now, and I do Scottish and a bit of American accent. I definitely think I would say Scottish accent's probably my favourite because I did grow up in Scotland when I was a lot younger, and I really miss it there, and I hope that one day I can go back, hopefully very soon. Obviously at the moment we can't because of the pandemic that we're in at the moment, but I think maybe when I'm older I'd probably like to retire, maybe in the Highlands, but I definitely want to visit back and see some friends and some family, and I do miss Scotland a lot, so I do think Scottish is probably my favourite. Although I do like to do American accents as well because there's a few different regions it can go into, and I'm definitely working on some sort of southern accent, a little bit more more like a southern accent I'm trying to work on at the moment, so you might see some of that in the future if I do think it sounds okay. Why were you gone for so long? If you don't want to answer, that is okay. I love your stuff. Thank you so much. I can answer it, but there's not an exciting answer, really. I was gone for so long because I suffered from really bad anxiety for, I think it was 2 to 3 years. It was so bad that I was actually housebound, and there's a really, really long story to go with that. And that's sort of the backstory to maybe why I was gone for so long, not because of that specifically, but it was the after part where I got better, and the medication that I got was completely life-changing to me, so it put me straight back on my feet. So I think I just wanted to take some time off YouTube and really get back into my life again, and it pretty much saved me. So that's probably another story I could talk about. If there's anybody that does suffer from really bad anxiety or depression, anything like that, I'm happy to go through my story, because it was very confusing and I could not get any answers. And I think maybe I was gone for so long as well was maybe because I was YouTube changed quite a lot. So I think that pulled me back a little bit. But more so, I wanted to focus on my life just a little bit more and get right back into it. Okay, so I'm fascinated by your geography. What's your favourite thing about where you live, and how did you land there? I love geography very much. So what's your favourite thing about where you live? Probably nature. There's a lot of mountains. There's a lot of walks and hikes that you can do around here. And it doesn't take that long to get to certain places. That's probably my favourite thing, and the weather too. It does get really, really hot, but it doesn't get majorly hot. I do miss the cold, like really, really low temperature coldness, but we do get really cold here, so I sort of get the best of both worlds in weather. And how did you land there? It was basically just family. I think my family wanted a little bit of a better life for us, especially when we were living in Britain, which I'm sort of glad now, because of all the, political sort of things that are happening at the moment, which I won't get into. I think being where I am now, the lifestyle that I have is, I'm very happy that I have. And yeah, so it's basically more to do with creating a better life for us, and it did. So I'm really glad where I am at the moment. Can I please ask which of your ASMR videos are you most proud of? The ASMR physical examination roleplay posted in May 2016 is in my all-time top 5. I must have watched it 100 times by now. That's a really good question, and the funny thing is, I agree. My favourite is the ASMR physical examination roleplay, and that was back in the 2016. I think it was really my first one where I got like a lot of views, and it was just really enjoyable to make, and I think it's still the highest top rated video in all of my videos, so you can check that out too. I'll pop that down in the comment section, but it was just one where I had the right sort of props in the background, and I was quite proud of how it was all set out. Do you have plans to do more Australian accent ASMR video in the future? Yes, I do. I think I've only done one. I think that was the tax video, I think. And the funny thing is that if I do an Australian accent to an Australian person, they think it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but I know that some of you in a lot of my videos have said that I'm getting more Australian. So it's quite interesting when people say that, but I think I might do like a normal Australian accent video, and then I might do a really bad Australian accent. So if you live out of Australia, you probably think of like a very blokey bloke Australian accent, like very, that's not a knife, this is a knife, like that type of thing. But it's completely different. There's only a couple of people that sound like that in Australia. Yeah, so I'll definitely be doing that in the future. Favourite King Gizzard album. So if you don't know what King Gizzard is, it's a band. It's called King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard, and I love that name. I haven't listened to all of the albums, so I can't really tell you which one that I like. One that I have listened to a lot is the Murder of the Universe, and I do really like I think it's Han Taeyumi, sorry if I said that wrong, and it's probably my favourite song by them, so I would say more on that album, but they've got quite a lot of albums and they sound amazing. So if you're looking for new sort of music, definitely check them out. They're pretty good. They're a pretty good band. Do you write a script for your videos, or do you just go with the flow? Do you have someone in front of you when shooting? I ask this because you look incredibly natural in your videos. You could work in a high-end customer service. God, that'd be quite interesting. It's so... I'm quite a potty mouth sometimes, so I'm not sure how I'd end up in high-end customer service, and I'm very weird too. I'm very out there, if you know me really well, so it'd be very interesting working for something like Chanel or Louis Vuitton or something like that, but interesting. Sometimes I do write a script for my videos. I used to do it quite a lot when I first started, because I didn't really know what I was doing. I think because I've learned a few examination role plays, I tend to not write a script. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't, especially if there's certain parts of the anatomy that I want to talk about, then I'll write a little bit about it. And sometimes when I am recording, I will have the notes sat there, and I'll try not to look at it, but it's there just in case I forget, essentially. So there's like a new video that I'm putting up, a chiropractor video, which you'll see very, very soon. It's coming today. And I did write some different areas of the muscle around the back. And the vertebrae, etc. So yeah, sometimes I do. I've also started doing custom videos now. If anybody is interested, they've actually been really popular and have helped me out a lot. I'll put that link down below anyway, where you can suggest a couple of things, or if you'd like a custom video, something like that. And I will write scripts for that, because there's specific things that people do want. So yeah, really, it just depends on what I'm doing. If it's something completely new, then I will write a script. But because I've been doing this for 6 or 7 years, I will do, I don't really tend to do scripts anymore. Do you have someone in front of you when shooting? No, I don't. As you know, I watched a lot of movies when I was little. A lot of movies, and I really wanted to get into acting, and I've sort of dabbled in a little bit of it, especially where I am now, and I was completely fine, but I tend to think that I act a lot better when it's just me. It's just myself and nobody else is there, because I feel like I can really bring myself out there, but I don't know, maybe in the future I'll get someone else to shoot, or if there's a specific different location that I'm at, I might get someone to film me. But yeah, so I'm a little bit shy, I guess. This is a strange question, but do you have a relation that is a police officer? I think you meant officer in Scotland. I swear she is your absolute double. I don't know. I don't have any relatives that are police officers. But if you have a picture of her, I'd be really interested to see. So maybe email that to me. My mum actually sent me a picture of somebody this morning that she said she had to double take. I think it was something she saw online, and it looked like an older version of me. It was really odd. It did look a little bit like me. But I'm really interested in, somebody that lives in a complete different country has very similar looks to you. I think that's really fascinating, and I love to look at somebody who looks just like me, just so I can probably laugh at myself. How many ASMR characters do you portray in your videos? Really depends. With Lady, she's very, very much like me. I'd probably say she's the most that's like me. I can be a little bit awkward, as I said before. In some other videos, yes, I can pop in little bits and pieces of me in there, but most of all, everything's just mostly made up, and it's just me creating that character, I guess. Is there any ASMR YouTuber who you really want to do a collaborate with? Yes, there is. There's quite a few actually that I'd love to do a ASMR video with. I've written these down because there's so many people that I do like, but these, I've kind of niched these down to a few of them. So there is a story with this one. I wouldn't mind doing a video with Cat Bailey ASMR. And the story with this is I actually had a dream about him, I think about 3 nights ago. And I actually did a collaboration with him, except he was in the video the whole time and I was just doing a voiceover. But I think he's really great. I've been watching him since he first started. I'm also going to put all the links down to these the people that are doing these ASMR down below, so you can check them out too. He just has he has a really nice voice, and I just like the way that he portrays in his videos, especially his medical videos, and he started doing like character videos too, which I find them extremely very well done. There's Goodnight Moon, which you've definitely probably heard of. She's amazing. The Healing Room ASMR. She's relatively new. She's starting to bulk up on her subscribers now, and she just has a very calming voice. She's just very pretty as well. She just has that nice calming effect when she looks into the camera. The other people there's Dr. Adam ASMR. He's an actual doctor, and he has way more views than a lot of my videos, and I think he only has about 6 or 7 videos up, and I can just tell that he's going to get really high up on the ASMR bar. He's very knowledgeable, of course, as being a doctor, and he also has that really calming effect. There's Yvette ASMR. I'm so sorry if I say your name wrong. I've been watching her for a very, very long time, and I absolutely love her. There's Lizzie ASMR. I love her glove sounds. I think they're just so lovely, and then putting them in your ears, I get very big tingles when that happens. There's also ASMR Chris. He's very relaxing. And Completely Casual ASMR. He's very relaxing as well. So I'll pop down the links for those people down below, so you can have a look at them and see if they give you the same vibe as they give me. How did your outlook on life and the future change after the plague year? Where did you get that old Robert Burns book, and do you like reading old poetry, or was it just the character who likes it? In regards to the pandemic, where I live, I've been incredibly lucky, and it's I feel almost guilty because we haven't had any cases for the past, I would say, about 6 or 7 months. So although, things have changed, we've relatively got back to normal where I live. All the shops are open, so you're allowed to you know, dine in, and you know, there's just, you're pretty much allowed to do pretty much anything. You just have to sign in with an app everywhere that you go. So I've been really lucky. We did have a lot of cases down here though when we sort of peaked, and everything got shut down. I think because I'm an introvert, it didn't bother me too much. I could still go out walking if I wanted to, or hiking. I was still working. I was really, really lucky that I didn't lose my job, unfortunately. A lot of people lost their jobs, and that's very sad, and they still do now. I know that I think on the news lately, India's just gone completely insane with the pandemic, and it's really, really sad, and I just feel extremely privileged to be where I am. I haven't had any family members that have come down with the virus, especially in the UK. But yeah, I would say it hasn't changed me because I'm kind of introverted and I didn't mind staying in. But I feel really awful for the people who've lost their lives and are still losing lives. And it's just really sad, and I just hope, I guess I'm being a little bit too optimistic here, but it'd be nice to get back to normal by the end of the year, which I don't think is going to happen at all. I think we're just going to continuously have cases, even if we have the vaccines. And yeah, so it's kind of a sad question to answer, really, but no, it hasn't really changed me. Where did you get that old Robert Burns book? I got the Robert Burns book at an op shop, actually, and it was the tartan cover that really intrigued me, because it didn't actually have anything on it when I first looked at it. And I had a look and I was like, oh, this is Robert Burns, you know, a Scottish man, poetry. So I don't really look into poetry very much, but I do really like Robert Burns. So he's my favourite. Author, would say author for that. What's your favourite poetry? What are your hobbies? What do you like to do in your free time? I think I've already answered that just at the very beginning, so if you'd like to go back up to that first, I think it's the first question or second question, that will answer that one for you. Hi, I love your videos. I have 2 questions. 1, what other ASMR artists inspire you? And 2, would you do any collaborations with other ASMR artists, and who? So number 2 is already answered, so I'll let you have a look at that. I think there's a few questions behind. What other ASMR artists inspire you? There's definitely 2. There's Goodnight Moon and Moonlight Cottage ASMR. The amount of work that they put into their videos, especially Moonlight Cottage ASMR, I think they're both absolutely amazing, and I would love to do videos like that in the future. I did put that I'd put in looking for lighting. I've actually just bought lighting, so I'm really excited for when that comes. And at the moment I'm in my kitchen because the light is just so much better in here. We're going to be renovating sort of the room where my other videos have been filmed at. So then there's a lot more space for me to actually get things set up. But just all their props and the acting and the amount of work that they put into their videos is spectacular. And that's definitely 2 people that I definitely look up to, and hope that my videos in the future will look something a little bit like that. I hope I'm not late. Have you visited, or do you have plans to visit America? I've never visited America. I would absolutely love to go. There's a few places that I'd like to go to. I'd like to go to New York. I'd like to have a New York Christmas, actually. It's very cliche and it's always in movies. But since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to go to New York. I'd like to go to Texas. I've heard the people are exceptionally nice. So I'd really like to go there. And obviously, I'd like to see different areas of Texas if I can. I'd like to go to Oklahoma, Kansas. I'd like to see a tornado. That's probably my geography love, because I love tornadoes and volcanoes, and I like just weather events. I think they're amazing, and I know how much destruction that a tornado can have. Just my old kid self really just wants to see one in person. Definitely not a destructive one though, just one that I can go, oh my god, it's there, I can see it, tick it off my list. I like to go to New Orleans, probably like to go to San Francisco, just for a little while. I've heard good and bad things about that place. And I think maybe I'd like to just go to Miami, just to get a feel of it, and be quite an interesting place. I definitely like to go to Hawaii. I like Jurassic Park, so I'd like to visit all those areas and also see a volcano. That'd be awesome. And there's a few other different places. I'd like to go to Philadelphia, and maybe Portland. I guess I'd kind of have to think about it actually, but those are probably all the places that I'd like to go first if I get a chance to ever go over there. I think it'd be nice to see the Grand Canyon or go to Yellowstone National Park. I'd like to do sort of those types of things as well. Not feeling very creative for questions. Maybe how tall are you? I just wanted to tell you that your videos are amazing and I'm totally addicted to it. Thank you very much. How tall am I? I'm about 5'8", maybe 5'8.5". So I'm more on the taller side, but I love being this height. I think I'm just an average height where I am. I can kind of get up high enough to reach things. So I'm kind of average, I guess, but still a little bit tall. Favorite genre of music. Favorite genre of music, that really just depends. I don't think I have a favorite one. I listen to quite a few different genres of music. I listen to quite a few different artists. I could, one day I could be listening to Frank Sinatra and then going straight into the Smashing Pumpkins, or I could go back into Nat King Cole and then listen to Bring Me the Horizon. So the music that I am listening to at the moment, I've been listening to a lot of Bring Me the Horizon and I absolutely love them. I'd absolutely love to see them live. That would be an absolute dream. So fingers crossed again for that one, that happens one day. I don't know if you like La Dispute. I listen to them quite a bit as well. And I've sort of been getting into, you know what, maybe I'll put down in the comment section the songs that I'm listening to at the moment, or my favorite. Let's do top favorite 5 songs that I'm listening to at the moment. What's your favorite genre of music, everybody? Do you have any? Comment down below what your favorite music is, and I'll have a listen. I hope I'm not too late for this, but would you ever consider doing any vlog style content or something different on a second channel? I'm sure a lot of other people would be supportive of that. I'd definitely love to do a second channel. I think I mentioned before that I'd like to get back into singing. My life isn't very interesting, but I could do sort of cooking videos, baking videos, what I eat in a day, those types of things, and also singing. So we could look or any events that I go to, I guess. So we could look at doing something like that in the future. I'd be very happy to do that if anybody's interested. What's the most important lesson you have learned in life? I mean, I'm in my late 20s now, and I guess it's more of a simple one. I haven't really had a chance to think about this question. I guess the important lesson is be kind. You know, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. I guess be kind to everybody, be kind to yourself, take time for yourself, help others wherever you can, build yourself up to, you know, treat others the way that you would like to be treated. That's the way that I look at it. So I'd say that's probably the most important lesson, because that's something that starts from when you can speak and, you know, when you die. So definitely kindness. Any Aussie foods you love or detest? Maybe I might do a eating video for this one, but I'll let you know anyway. Foods that I love are definitely Anzac biscuits. We've just had Anzac Day, which was yesterday, and they're just these very, very simple biscuits. It's just oats, syrup, bicarb. What else is in there? Anyway, it's a very simple recipe and they're absolutely delicious. So Anzac biscuits, and you might have heard of Tim Tams. I really like those as well. Anything chocolate I really like. I like Lamingtons. We have a thing called a chicken palmy over here. I'm not sure if any other place does them. They might call it a different thing. But it's well known. If you go to a pub, you're more than likely going to order a chicken palmy. So basically it's just like a huge chicken schnitzel with like this tomato sauce and ham, and then it has some cheese, and then it's sort of like grilled until it gets really nice and crispy, and you have it with chips. So I do like palmies. We have another thing called a sausage sizzle. So we have a place called Bunnings in Australia, and every weekend, I'm not sure if it happens during the week. I think the only time I've ever had one is when I go over on the weekends. And it's kind of like, I'm thinking of Britain. I don't know if you guys still have B&Q. So, you know, it has a lot of your garden maintenance tools. It's like a tool shop and plants and things like that. But there's a charity, depends on which charity that comes out. It could be a different one each weekend. And they do a thing called sausage sizzle. So it's about $2.50 for a sausage. It's just a piece of bread, your onion and your sausage, or it depends if you like the onion on top. There's a big thing around that. And then you just put your sauces on. I like tomato and mustard. And whenever you go to Bunnings, you just get a sausage because they taste amazing. So I really like those. I like a pavlova. Absolutely love pavlova. I love meringue. So it's really nice with some raspberries and cream and strawberries. Absolutely delicious. There's chocolate called a cherry ripe. I used to hate cherries. I've only recently got into them because when I was little, I watched The Witches of Eastwick, and if you've seen that, she eats the cherries and then the pips, like she just vomits all of it out. I never ever was not interested in having a cherry, but anyway, I absolutely love cherries now. I think they're amazing. And there's a chocolate bar called a cherry ripe. I really like the double dipped one. It's just got cherries and it's very sweet. It's really nice. There's a thing called fairy bread here as well. I never heard of it until I came to Australia. It's just a piece of bread, some butter, and then it's got sprinkles on it. So what are they called, freckles, the different coloured freckles, and actually tastes surprisingly really nice. So if you go into a party, you'll definitely almost see furry bread there. I like kangaroo. It depends. I only really like it in a patty with, so you make it into a burger and maybe put some chutney and some spices in it. It's actually quite nice. I really like Milo and fantails. One thing I don't like, I try it every single year or every once in a while. It's just not my thing, is I do not like Vegemite at all. And I've put it on. You're meant to put like a lot of butter on and then just spread the Vegemite very, very thinly on a cracker or toast. And it tastes okay to begin with, but I think it's more the aftertaste that I don't like. But they did a thing here, and Cadbury's chocolate did it, and it was Vegemite chocolate. I never tasted it, but it didn't last that long on the shelf, so I'm not sure if it went together. And I think that's pretty much it. I don't know if there's any other Australian foods that I can think of, but I think I might do a separate video and do like a eating Australian foods. Hi, what's the greatest movie or series that you ever saw and why? So there's a few questions here. So what's the greatest movie or series that you ever saw and why? I definitely have to go with The Lord of the Rings. I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings. It's one of those movies and books as well. The book's amazing too. It's just one of those that just takes you on a journey and you just feel like you're there with them. I get very emotional when I watch them too. I just really connect with the nature and the story itself and the characters. Everything comes all together. It's just amazing. I could talk about it for hours if I really wanted to. Do you also get a kind of ASMR, shivers down your spine from certain songs? And do you have an example of one that does that for you? For example, for me, The Boxer by Simon and Garfunkel. It happens the most when I'm hearing a song which I didn't hear in a while, but which has some memories linked to it. Interesting topic, I think. Yes, it is very interesting, and I do get a little bit of shivers sometimes. I watch ASMR videos every single day for a couple of hours. It's just linked into my brain now. I like watching new and old videos. I've never actually got ASMR from tingles. I haven't got tingles from ASMR video itself. I just really find it really relaxing. I don't think I've fallen asleep to an ASMR video either. It's kind of like if I get a massage or a facial, I'm very relaxed, but I'm not going to fall asleep because I think I don't want to miss anything. In regards to music, absolutely get shivers all the time from certain types of music. I do really like Simon and Garfunkel as well, and that's a great song too. I've written a couple of things here. There's Outlander, and I love Outlander. It's a TV show. And there's a song from the first album which is called The Veil of Time, and I get absolute shivers from that every time I listen to it. Again, I think it's more to do with that connectivity and just feeling that emotion and just the whole fantasy aspect. I think it's an amazing song. I get a lot of tingles from The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt soundtrack from the movie. From the game. I get a lot of tingles from that, and I get a lot of tingles from The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring soundtrack too, and one of them is The Breaking of the Fellowship, and that makes me quite emotional. If you have any songs that make you shiver, put them down below, and I'll have a little listen to those. How were those years you were absent from YouTube? They were great. I got my life back on track. I got a lot of things done, so I'm very happy to be back on track now, and I'm also very happy to be back doing YouTube videos. It's my favourite thing to do. I just wish that I had mountains more time to do it. I wish it was my full-time job. Maybe one day. Do you watch your own videos for relaxing times? No, I don't watch my videos. I'll flick through them when I'm editing them to make sure that it looks okay. But after that, I don't really listen to them. I might listen to one every once in a while just to see how I was in that video, and if there was anything that I could have improved, or to make a new video. But more so, no, I don't really listen to my videos. Would you ever consider doing lewd ASMR roleplay or such? I know I'd definitely pay. I don't think so. As I said, I've been doing custom videos. I've had a couple of messages where people have asked for sort of sexual things. I don't do that, sorry. But I'm sure there's plenty of people in the ASMR community that would do that for you. Do you have a partner or children? I don't have any children yet. I probably would like to have children in the future. I think maybe when I've started doing, if I get into the medical career that I'd like to go into, I think when I've settled down on that, I'd like to have children maybe in my early 30s. I have a feeling that my 30s is going to be like the best decade. I do have a partner as well. We've been together for quite a while now, and he's pretty amazing. He's a pretty amazing guy. Are you British? Yes, I am. I was born in England, and I have family from England, Scotland, and different parts of Europe as well. How long does it take you to film one of your medical videos? It really depends. It can take up to, let's say it takes about 12 hours to do just one video, because it might take me a few times to record the video. Sometimes I'll just get really annoyed when I'm like halfway through a video and I've stuffed it up. I'll do it again. But with editing and uploading and resources, research, etc., I think about 12 hours all up. So it takes quite a while to make sure that you get everything correct. If you could travel back to a different era, which one would you choose? I think I'd probably like to have been born in the 1920s. I found that it was I'm very into that sort of era, and the 1940s. So I think probably born in the 1920s, and then, sort of in my 20s, I would be in the 1940s. I think that was a really good year too. What era would you like to be in? I mean, I like this era now. I mean, where we've gone through a lot of different things, especially in medical terms as well. But yeah, I think I'm a very 20s, 40s type of person in real life. If you had a superpower, which one would you choose? This one's very hard. There's quite a few things that I'd like to be. I mean, I'd absolutely love to fly. If you could fly anywhere, that'd be great. Or if you could time travel, maybe time traveling. I think time traveling would be absolutely amazing. I'd love to go into different eras and see the history and all the good and the bad things that have happened, and really gain knowledge in that field. I'd probably say time traveling, but other ones I'd like to do is definitely be able to learn how to fly. I mean, can you imagine having that ability. And I'd also like to have the ability to heal. I think that'd be really good. Maybe heal animals. Sorry, just got a good trapped burp in there. Maybe a healer of animals and really, really sick people. I think that's probably another one. But definitely time travel. I'd absolutely love to have that superpower. This is the last question. What kind of camera and microphones do you use? So at the moment, I'm still using my Logitech camera, which I use from my computer, but I actually have a proper camera. I have a Canon, I think it's an EOS, maybe I have to double check that, but I have a really, really good camera, and I should really start using that. It's just, I want to get in the right, I'm going to have the right area to do it in and be able to do the props. The camera that I've used all this time is the Logitech one, and it's a pretty good camera. It'd be nice if I could actually use my real camera and really get to use that a lot more. I've used quite a few microphones in the past. The one that I'm using, this is the one I'm recording on right now. So that's this one here. So I use the Zoom, and it's the H6 handy recorder. So that's the one that I use at the moment, but I would absolutely love to get 2 microphones and be able to really dig deep into each side, the left and the right side for you. I'm just going to pop that back down here. Okay, hopefully that didn't distort anything. And yeah, so I'm constantly upgrading different types and bits and pieces, but I think now it's time that I probably look at getting 2 microphones and getting the light, and I'm hoping to get a green screen at some stage, or if not a green screen, I can get the bedroom where the study is at. I'll be able to use that as like a little studio, and yeah, so that's all the questions that I've answered. Thank you so much to everybody who had written these questions. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and learned a little bit more about me. And hopefully by the end of the year I can reach 60,000 subscribers or more. that'd be great. So I guess I will see you in the future and in my next video. Bye.